We are here in Kings Park in Hong Kong, and my guest is Yin Leung. And the topic today is self-development, self-improvement. So, do you do anything nowadays that you improve yourself?
Yeah.
Any project?
Yeah, I have make some plan actually every year, and then so I will set a big goal at the end of the year, and I will start
Like what is your plan now?
At the moment, I want to improve or get more information about interior design or upgrade my software skill.
So, specifically what and why?
AutoCAD is the software that I am planning to become more feminine at. The reason is last year I'm also doing that, but I need a lot of help from different people to complete one project. So
you learn AutoCAD by yourself, or you do go to the course?
I learned it in the course many years ago, but I haven't used it at all. So last year I need to really do sketch for the customer. So, but I found out I actually can't do it by myself.
What kind of customers? So what is the business?
The business is about renovation or interior design. So you will need to come up with an idea and then make it as a sketch and let the customer know how the structure going to be and the decoration, what does that look like. So you need to picturize the things and then present to the customer. And so I think that is the skills if I want to continue doing this job.
Okay, so this is one skill. So
Yeah.
your main focus is career now.
Yes.
So this is one.
And
Okay, the self-development focuses mainly on your career. So this is one project that you want to improve your CAD,
AutoCAD.
AutoCAD skills.
Yes.
So how do you do this? What is your?
I actually downloading the software, or I already have that in my computer, and then I have learned it from YouTube. So what I did for 2 weeks ago is I watched the video first, and then I will have my computer open, and then I just follow what they do and then try to start again. But I found to learning that on YouTube of this kind of software is quite difficult, because most of the time the version may be different, and then they have the language gap, and also sometimes it's just if you miss one step or the just little step, if you miss, it's hard for you to continue and follow the whole guideline.
When I do this, I also use YouTube and also sometimes search and read text. So these two things.
Yeah.
So okay, so you are capable to teach yourself, because some people they have to go to a course because they don't have any learning skills by themselves. They need a guide. So you know how to learn. It's about learning how to learn. This is a methodology, what you said.
Yes, but I think for general skill or something, if you're really interested, you can come with different material to do the learning. So let's say actually AutoCAD I found is a little bit difficult for me to follow through all the learning process from YouTube or online. But I found, because I'm also doing other self-develop, is also about money making. I am learning how to invest, the investment process for my year's goal as well. So the second thing is that
invest in what?
Invest in share market. So
why did you choose this?
The reason is I think I earn enough profit from the last maybe 3 or 5 years. So it's I did not really lose any money from what I put in. And I think, that could be build up a confidence for me. Okay, if I didn't lose, maybe I could also earn something. And
so how do you learn?
For the share market, I learned it from books, reading news, online material. Like I follow few blogger and also some YouTuber. But I also learn other things like by reading the company background most of the time, and also visit their shops. And yeah, I find that is interesting.
So give some examples that you learned recently, things that are interesting, useful, practical, and you didn't know before, but with this self-improvement learning that you learn and you can use it later. Some specific examples.
So let's say for investment. So I did learn one, not philosophy, but it's a guy, he set up a table for you. If you want to go into the market, you really need to have the goal and aims about what are you going to do, and then so you set up the things like really strict. So let's say you have, for investment, you have like 3 months, 1 year, and 5 years, or like 3 to 5 years. So you, before you really invest, you should set the goal and then the amount. So when it hit your really beginning target, or like you hit that goal, you need to really let it go, like sell it, or when it's losing the money, also stop it and then sell it. So I think like it's kind of like keeping the promise, and also set it and then really do it. I think that is like one attitude I learned, and I think I can apply it not only in stock market, also in other things that I'm doing.
So what is the benefit if you set these goals and then you sell it when it starts to go down, or you buy when it goes up? How does it help you?
I think when it's going up and then you sell it, you already earn your profit. So that means your prediction is kind of like match with like what is the market going. But at the same time, when you sell it when it's going down, you will not lose the amount that you can afford. So
because you mentioned it, let it go. So it's more about. Do you learn anything about emotion management? Because if you panic, then you make a wrong decision. So because that is the real, because what you're talking about is more about the technical thing. Mm-hmm. But do you learn anything about how to manage yourself as an investor? For example, when things go very badly, then how you handle your emotion? Do you learn anything about this?
For emotion, because one of the rules for like doing this investment is you never use any money for your everyday life. So in this case, it will not drive your emotional really up and down, because that is your small, like not small money, but kind of like your spare money. So for me is emotional is like you always take care what is happening nowadays for yourself, and then you do the other things apart, or like in your spare time or spare money, spare things. So yeah, I think that is
so it's just good. Separated money that even if you lose you don't care, so you just prevent this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, for me, that the reason that I'm doing like this stock is I want to learn the skills instead of I really want to earn money. Because if
so
I
what
lose...
skills? So you want to learn skills that you can use in investment, or general skills that you can use everywhere in your life?
It's investment, I think, especially because that is not really a skill that I can apply for what I'm doing everyday life, because I'm doing like kind of like renovation or like marketing stuff, but not really about investment, because investment is about the market and also the people who join the market. So it's more about mental exercise, I think.
How do you mean? What?
So
mental what?
So for most of the time I learn from the book is you need to be greedy when everyone is panic, and then you can sell all the stock when the market go really up, or like high. So actually it's like not the same emotion happening in the market. So you need to go the opposite. I think that this is like, sometimes you are invest in stock, but at the same time you are learning what actually people are reacting.
So how do you know that this is a right strategy? So I understand that somebody's recommended this, but there can be a lot of other that follow the market. That can be another strategy. So how do you make the decision that I choose to believe this one?
At the really beginning, I actually read like different kind of books, and then I do a lot of testing because I have like experience in doing this stuff from like 8 years ago or 10 years ago. So I actually did do testing and then found which one is the most suitable for me, because let's say when you do things, you will need to know how much time that you're going to put it in, and then how your emotion going to relate about that, and then how much money you put it in. So let's say everything come together, and then you find your style, and you go to choose something that will work for you. I think that is the reason why I choose that style, is because I think it worked for me and it should for my background or like my situation.
Okay, so these 7 years you practicing this project, you are doing this project for 7 years.
Yeah, almost.
So what did you learn that you didn't know before during this 7? It can be about yourself, maybe about the market. So what is your experience?
I think one is know about the market, because I never, or like let's say for my parents' generation, or like when I go up, they never like do anything after than saving. So they don't put the money in the bank to do transfer or like exchange to other currency, and then get higher interest rates. They didn't do it. I mean, also they have like, they are really hardworking people, and what they think is like, if they work hard, and then they will have enough money to survive. But because one day I was like working in long time ago, I was working in shops, and then I know this guy, he's only 40 something, and then he already retired. And then I asked him many times, why you can retire like so early and you did not really doing anything? So what he usually do is he go to swim in the morning, and then he will read the news, and then every day's routine is like really relaxed, and it seems like he don't really worry about
Okay, so this was a motivation, because we are also talking about the motivation that you saw a specific person in your real life, not books, not video, but somebody that you know personally.
Yep.
And you said, oh, I can learn to do this. So that was your motivation.
That was the starting point. Yeah, for me to doing that. But I mean, after he introduced me this method to invest, I start to learn different things, and then I start to read book and then search, because I asked him like what kind of stuff that he is buying, but he didn't really like tell me, or like you just need to go for something you feel interest. And then so for me is I need to find information by myself.
Okay, so the first step, find something that you didn't know before.
Yeah.
A specific person.
Yeah.
Second, research.
Yeah.
Collect information, but you didn't start investment.
At that time, I was start the really low risk is the current
so experiment also. So
yes.
Practicing and learning, practicing, learning.
Yes. And so I think that was the reason I start. And then for the reason I keep continue for this like 7 or 8 years is I bought one share. Actually, it go up almost 20 times. Then when I bought it till when I sell it. So I found this is something a bit crazy, because you actually did not do anything, honestly. You just put in something and then it go up and then you sell it. But then people, they believe it.
A lot of people lose money.
yeah, but the people believe about this. So for me, it's like, what is going on? It seems like something, because it's not real. Like for me, this kind of stock things, because you can't, if you invest at the really beginning, you got that paper that show that you got that stock. But if you're buying it through internet or application or in the bank, you actually have nothing. You only have a record in your bank. It could say, you are really just buying a number, and no one knows what does that mean, and then it go up and then it go down. So it's really abstract stuff for me at the beginning. And then, but the more time I look up the information, or the more I do the research, I found it's kind of people believe in it, and then maybe it's real, and then you can.
So you said that people believe in it. So when you look at the big picture, what is the stock market actually? So
Yeah.
what keeps or lowers or increases the stock market? What is the knowledge behind this? What is your understanding about stock market? So did you think about this that actually you're talking about a kind of philosophical level, that I just buy a piece of paper and I later sell it for more money?
I think the
What
logic
determines-
behind that, or like going up, right?
What determines the price of the stocks? I mean, do you learn about this, or you don't care, just go, it goes up?
When they go on the market, I think they have a set price at the really beginning when they launch. And the reason it go up, I believe there's someone doing control or buying that
Okay,
all
so
the
you
time.
believe this kind of conspiracy theory that some very few people controls the market.
Yes,
So you believe this?
I believe. I
Okay.
believe rich people, or like the people have a lot of money, or government, they control mainly it when it's going up or down. And because it's just about, because the stock actually is limited. You can't really buy. You can see the market when everyone buy that thing, so that will be out of market, right? Run that, and then the more people that come in and chase, and then it will go up. But if like no one want it, or like they just sell it, the people who holding the big amount of share, they sell it, and then the market will drop. So I believe that is the main control is the people who hold most of the share. So when they buy, then you buy. When they sell, you sell.
Okay. So you have this investment project, you have the AutoCAD learning project.
Yeah.
What about other areas of your life? Do you have any? Not just recently, but maybe you had success 5 years ago. Or health, relationship, traveling.
I didn't really travel a lot, and recently. And for
Well,
health,
but many years ago you traveled.
many years ago.
So what did you learn from that? Why did you travel?
Travel. The reason is I want to see the world. I want to learn different culture, and I did that. I mean, I experienced a lot when I.
Okay, so give some examples that what did you learn during those travels
Yeah.
that really influenced your life?
Influence my life. I would say to really look at human being as an individual, but at the same time, every human should be, equal, or like it's not much different between human and human. And I think I learned respect, because when you go to different place, the people, they actually treat you differently. But if you really,
It's called cultural shock. So do you have some experience about this, that wow, it's totally different and you never thought about this? Do you have cultural shock?
I do. Like when I was in Australia, and I live in a village which don't have a lot of people. So I went out in the morning to do running. So like almost everyone saying hello to me. And yeah, of course that I will respond to them. So I find for people it's really easy to get like connection or easy to talk to other people. But it is not happening in Hong Kong.
This hello, I also had this experience in Hungary. When you enter the lift and there is another person, you say hello, even if it's total stranger.
Yeah.
So when I went to the US and I came to Hong Kong, I get used to it that ignore everybody. Nobody talks to everybody. And when I went back,
Yeah.
I just did this, and there was an old woman, and she said hello to me, and I was totally okay. I said hello, but
Yeah.
by myself, I didn't do this. So this kind of thing that you don't know, you have to really live in that country. No, but this traveling, that
Yeah.
did it other than just some interesting stories and surprise, but did it when you came back?
Yeah.
Were you a different person? Did it change you?
I think it didn't really change me, but it actually enriched my experience or like opened my eyes a lot, I would say.
Now give some example. What? So
So
you become, for example, more people-oriented or become more risk-taker because you survive in another country?
I think I am more confident to talk to stranger, and I am more
What caused this increase in confidence? Why? Language or what?
I would say it's not about language. It's about my experience when I was in traveling. So a lot of people, they are being really good to me, and then it increased the confidence for me to talk to stranger. Because let's say if 100 stranger come to talk to you, and then everyone is being really nice, so you will think, okay, strange people are not that afraid or not that terrible. So you will start the conversation with them. So also being the first one to start the conversation, I think it would be like one of the biggest, like one of the big steps for me to meet new people. I mean, before when I grew up in here, and then I seldom go out to meet new people. That I will not go to a stranger and start a conversation with them. But
So what's the difference if you do it in Hong Kong or when you travel? Why? What's the difference?
the difference is like I would say when you are not at home, you will not. When you are overseas, you will not feel that embarrassment if even people they don't respond to you. But because it seems like everyone will respond, or they will talk back to you. You don't think it's a big deal. Even like one or two people, they just didn't respond to you. But in Hong Kong, because you will feel that maybe someone looking at you, or you will feel really bad if someone didn't respond to you.
So this is about you, or this is about the culture in Hong Kong?
I would say it's about the culture in Hong Kong, because maybe the one thing my observation is my other friend will not do the same as well, or my friends in college or my school friends in high school, they are not going to talk to strangers.
In Hong Kong?
Yeah, they don't.
So this is about that other people in the world, they are more open, or
Yeah.
because the traveling situation that you are sitting on the train?
I would say maybe it's about the culture stuff. It's not. I think it's the culture in Hong Kong. The people are more tend to protect themselves, and also the other thing is there's a lot of people living in Hong Kong. But let's say I was staying in Bondi, Australia. And because the population is not a lot, especially in that village, there's maybe 200 houses. And the people they almost know everyone, and also that's not easy to make friends because the population is too low.
Okay, so it's not about Australia, it's about small village. Of course, in a small village, everywhere in the world, people know each other. So
Yeah.
it's totally different culture.
Yeah.
Okay, so altogether the traveling made you more confident to talk to people,
Yes.
to start conversation,
Yes.
not to be afraid of them.
Yeah. And also the other thing is learning to stay alone, because in Hong
I
Kong,
mean,
there's-
live alone. That cooking. How do you mean stay alone? To be with
even
a partner or managing your life alone, like shopping, cooking, or how do you mean?
both. I would say like more independent to like doing things by yourself, but at the same time also live alone. Yeah, because a lot of foreign people, they move out when they are 18 or graduate uni, so they just start to learn and form their own lifestyle after that. But in here, most of the people, before they get married, they stay at home or live with their parents. So it's really hard for them to learn how to do everything, like everyday life, to take care of themselves. But for the traveling actually gives me the chance to do that, and I learned that, and I think that is useful for me in like now or in the future.
Okay, so can you transfer this experience to other aspects of your life? Like traveling, you learn something, you experience the world. But if it's just itself that it was a good time, it's okay, so it's not a big deal. But can you benefit from that in your present or maybe the future time, including also the investment that you learn out of things? So is it what you learned and experienced, is it transferable to other areas in your life?
I would say a little bit, but not much, because people also get infected by what's happening around them every day. So let's say today I make one decision, but if something happened really badly tomorrow, so my decision will change, and also I change myself, or like
Now maybe your decision changes, but the reason that you make certain decisions, the mindset, it will not change. So I'm talking about that, let's say if you travel 2 years in Australia, so maybe it changes your mindset that influences your life later. You become more independent, you understand people better, you became braver to start communication.
Yes, I mean that is one part, but I also think that if you live in a place for that amount of time and then you learn that, but when you go to other place, that you will also adapt to other culture. So people actually, they change.
So you're learning perspectives,
Yeah.
and that can influence your attitude to people. You will be not so one-sided.
Yeah.
Because people who live just in one place, especially a long time ago, they just lived in a village,
Yeah.
they have a worldview, they have a perspective, they stuck in their own culture. Actually, my philosophy about this is that a person is the product of the society. I'm not focusing on the individuality, I'm just looking this, but if you travel in different places, then you become multicultural and you open your eyes and not to stuck with your own cultures and limitation. You understand why people do other things that seems ridiculous or dangerous or stupid, but you understand better. Now, okay, if you look at the big picture of your whole self-development,
Yeah.
do you have any time in your life when there was a big change that, okay, I want to improve myself, and maybe before that, maybe you didn't. So can you find a time in your past that you changed? Maybe you were not aware of this, that I can improve, and then something changed and you started to be more interested?
I think one really special stuff happened is one day I was like really
How many years ago?
not long time ago. I think maybe few months ago. So I was like sitting in front of my computer, and then the washing machine is like wash the clothes, and then I found the time actually are doing something for us. So no matter what you are doing, this we can be the controller of a lot of things. And then so maybe the machine will do things for us, maybe the market will do things for us, maybe the other people will do things for us. So if we are knowledgeable enough, we can manage a lot of things and make the things happen. This is like really strange. It's like for me is if you look at the sun, then you will find if you put the clothes there, the clothes will become dry. So you didn't do anything, but the environment or like the sun is doing something. So I found this non-stoppable earth is a really magical stuff recently.
Okay, what I understand what you're saying, that you have knowledge about the world and you build a system and then things emerge automatically.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything, but actually you have to do anything because you have to understand the washing machine, how it works, and the sun. So you get the knowledge,
Yeah.
you build a system. Actually, this is the self-development, that you get skills and knowledge about different aspects of your life, you put together, and then when you look back
Yeah.
many years later, you see that, oh, those things that I learned at the school or from that person or from my travel or from my business experience or my investment experiences
Yeah.
about my health and everything come together. So the future is very difficult to know what kind of skills can be useful, but when you look back,
Yeah.
where we are now, it is the product of all the things. So that's why I'm asking that, did you have any big realization, not a few months ago, but because I know that you are interested in self-development for a long, long time.
Yeah.
You learned marketing, this kind of things. You went to some
Yeah.
meetup.
Yep. And the other
Okay,
thing,
so talk about this, that
meet up.
long time ago you went to meetup to learn
Yep.
about marketing.
Yes.
Okay, so why did you do this? How did it start? What did you learn from that? It was many, many years ago. How did the idea come?
I would say the reason I went is one of my friends introduced me about Meetup, but it is not popular in Hong Kong for locals. It's not popular because it's mainly about English-speaking people. So for me, so at the beginning I don't know about that. So after I know about that, and I went to few meeting, and I found that it's like, oh, really true. It's only mainly English-speaking people. So I was a little bit afraid at the beginning, but then I took a course about 10 lessons. So this guy was really nice to most of the audience, and he gave a lot of guidance about people to do marketing because he he also went to meet up many years ago, and then there's someone influenced him, and he become quite successful business person in Hong Kong, and so now he wants to give back to the society. That's why he create this 10 lessons course.
So that the person who introduced you to this meetup group.
Yeah.
So what was the thing that persuaded you to try it out? This person was successful. Why did you listen to this person?
This person actually is from America, and he come to stay in my place for a few days. A friend introduced him to me and say that he's traveled past by Hong Kong and he don't have place to stay, and then so I just say okay, so I come to stay in my parents' place. So that's why I become friends with him, and then he say yeah, he talked about a lot about the culture in U.S. and at the same time because he don't have any family in Hong Kong, but he decided come back to start his career here, and he say meet up maybe one of the place that he want to start knowing more new people. So I mean, yeah, I never try, and then he say, it's popular, and I go online and search, and I found, yeah, why not just try? So that was the reason that why I go. But I found, finally, he went to I think one meetup with me only, and then because I have different interests with this person. So because he go to more about entertainment meetup group, but for me because I'm more about marketing or business entrepreneur, I feel more interested in that kind of stuff. So I go to other meetup
But
group.
remember that you were curious. So what was it that you said yes to go to the first meeting with this person? That you want to help him to join to this meeting, or you were interested? What is this?
I was interested about what is this, and also I think it is a new way to meet different people, maybe. So that's why I go.
Also, your traveling is about meeting different people. I'm trying to look for the pattern. So, curiosity,
Yeah,
the desire to get more knowledge.
yeah.
Maybe you are more risk taker. Because you're trying out, okay, so the big risk, but traveling is risk.
Yeah, but not that big risk because for me is I don't do dangerous stuff. So let's say when I go out at nighttime, even I go party. But if people they invite me to go somewhere which I don't know or I don't have any friends to go there, I won't go. I mean for me, I'm willing to take risk in a limit area, or I'm willing
Okay,
to
risk in
try
this case
things.
time and maybe money, but not your health, not
Or
your
personal,
life.
personal security stuff. I don't do. So
But back to the same question that because okay, you tried out, you joined to this group.
yeah.
Before that, did you have anything that? So let's say you studied this design for 3 years and you finished
Yeah.
at this age, not after the secondary school. So why didn't you study at that time? What were you a different person? Do you have a different mindset? Why didn't you go to college or university at that time? And why did you choose to go now? What changed?
So at the really beginning, when I come back to Hong Kong, I would say it takes quite a lot of amount even to go to that college. Because
mean money.
Yeah, 40K or 44K per year. And one thing is I don't have enough spare money to do that, so that's why I think maybe I should work a bit and then think about what I really want to do to make the decision. Because even I learn graphic design, it doesn't mean I need to be a graphic designer or I need to have really high education to prove that I am a good designer. So, but till I think after I worked for 3 or 4 years, and then I found most of the people in a higher position, let's say management, they all graduate in degree or higher education. And I also found there's a lot of things I don't know, and I want to know more, or I want to find out more. So I asked my friends who already complete these courses, and they say yeah, it's pretty useful, and you can try, or So Yeah, and I
So
also
it means career perspective because you have a higher level degree and also the knowledge.
yeah.
These were the two motivations.
Mm.
But so what changed that? Why didn't you think like this when you were 18 years old? So how did you think at that time? What's the difference? So why, when you finished the secondary school,
Yeah.
what was your thinking about this topic to study more?
At that time, I don't think study is really important because if I look at the people around me or like my parents, they don't really have like a high education, and it's easy to find job in Hong Kong as well because
So what was your main value at that time related to this topic? About earning money as soon as possible or what?
I don't think that earning money it was any goal at that time. It's about freedom or like hang out with friends, have a lot of fun during that time.
Okay,
Because
so you didn't value university high. Did you actually think about this topic at that time to go to university, or just it was total clear that no?
I don't think that I really think about go to uni, but I didn't because the thing is, I don't have a really high grade in when I was in high school, or like even I studied that certificate. I don't get like always get good grade at all.
So it was about self-image,
Yeah.
self-esteem issue, or practical things that I cannot get into a university.
I think both, and also because there's a lot of things. Because I grew up in a family who have 5 children, so I think the economic or like my parents are not that rich to support all the children to go to because if you can't go to the government university or like you can't get like a loan when you go to uni, it would be difficult for my parents, working class parents, to support 5 kids go to
Okay,
school.
so you were not a good student. The result didn't help
Yeah.
to get no money,
Yeah.
and actually you didn't really care about this. At the time you didn't really have a career plan.
I don't have any
so
career
that's
plan
why
at all.
I'm interested in what make the change, because now you are much more conscious about this. You are learning different AutoCAD and many things
Yeah.
to improve. So what made you change? What made it more conscious? So at the time freedom was important for you?
Yes, but now I think the reason I'm doing that is also about freedom, because I want to focus on career. One thing is I feel really happy when I can help my client to solve the problem, or they feel happy about the suggestion or the design.
But
that
is it
I
the same
provide.
freedom or a different freedom?
This is about your personal.
Because you see, when you were 18, maybe the freedom was, I want to spend time with my friends. But the freedom maybe now is
Yeah,
about
about traveling and also financial freedom.
financial freedom.
Yeah. So I think
So it's
that
independence.
yeah, the reason that I'm doing the share market is I want to get more financial freedom, let's say in the future. So how can I make my life easier?
So now, okay, the difference is that now you think much more in the future. But
Yeah.
at the time you thought about the present. Okay, so what made the change? Do you have anything that you can attach this change to? Or it was gradually?
Maybe one of the key thing is sometimes when I look at my mom or like my dad, my parents, when I look at they are like working really hard, even nowadays, and then how much they got in their bank account. I think this is not in a good kind of like not in a good value. You know, you work 12 hours a day, and then even now.
But you said when you were younger, you said that, hey, my parents, they had a job,
Yeah.
they're low educated, so you are using the same facts,
Yes.
but you are seeing the same thing totally differently now. You said
Yes.
at the time that, hey, I don't have to go to university, my parents, they have work, they
Yeah.
earn money.
Yeah,
Now you are using the same, I look at my parents,
I
they
look at
don't
the
earn
saving.
enough money,
Yes.
so it means I have to study. So
Or like I
your
need
thinking
to-
changed.
I do.
Okay, but so why did it change? How? What? Because the main point is, how can you accelerate this process that, let's say, if you watch this video, that you don't have to wait 10, 20 years
Yeah.
to get forced or get some random experiences with some people to change their mindset, but how can you do it faster so you can start to think with an older mind when you are younger?
Oh, let's say one case is last time my parents give me $10, let's say. So I look at that $10, and then I was thinking, okay, when I was 10 years ago, that $10 could buy this and that. And then when I look at the $10 now, the choice become really limited. And I look at the value, actually it changed. And also the more information, or like, you know, because when you get older, the people around you, they become maybe more success, or maybe more rich, or maybe more poor, you know, just like become everything. And then everyone wants to have more choice, or like they want to maybe richer become, or maybe become have more free time. So I look at that my ideal life.
But it
And
seems
then-
that what changed, that the reference people changed, because when you were younger, you referenced to your parents, and you probably didn't have too many personal friends that you can learn from. Because it seems that what you are saying, the pattern is that always you meet somebody,
Yeah.
and that person helps you to go to get interested in some topic,
Yeah.
and then you see that there are different ways of learning. Actually, it's also true for me. I met certain people, and for example, private tutoring, it came from another person who was tutoring, and I don't have to work for the boss, I can do it by myself. So it's a very common thing that we meet somebody in people. So not just read about in a book that is very far, a stranger who became successful.
Yeah.
But when you meet somebody, your reference point that, hey, this real life person could get a good job, could earn more money, could invest money, could travel
Yeah.
freely. Like, for example, for me, that when I went to study to the US, the idea came from my brother, because my brother went to study and get a PhD. Okay, so it's always some people. So when you were young, maybe you didn't have successful people around you. Is it true?
Yeah. True.
And later you met some people, real life people, and then they
Yeah.
introduce you to different paths.
Yeah, but also the other thing is, I think internet also changed a lot of things. So let's say I was like reading a lot of investment skills or experience from online, and I really like talk to them on let's say Facebook. They really reply to me. I think this is also one things that you would, if you want to learn or if you want to know famous people, this gives you a big step. It's like before, it's like really far away for you to know a successful people if you are like a working class. But nowadays, it's like if you are brave enough, or like if you try, you might like got reply, or like other people will talk about your questions, or they will just like keep chatting with you if you trying to reach them. So for me, I think this is like really change the things like for internet. If you are ego enough
But
to
you're
learn
talking about
things,
two ways because you are chatting with people.
yeah,
Because it can be internet, you are just watching, like me, I'm watching a person's video that is talking about health, and
Yeah.
that influences me. There is no any two-way communication, just one way.
yeah,
I'm listening to them and, oh, fasting. And I try fasting
yeah,
and it works. Or try this food, don't eat that food, and it influences me.
yeah.
But do you have this that no two-way influence, just one way? Does it also work for you?
It worked for me, but the other like thing is, I think, it is like for me because like before the pattern is like I learn or like I meet new people, and then if they are like have something or like they are doing something that I really interest, maybe I get along with them or like I learn from them. That is also two-way. But this thing is like it actually go to one level up, is not even like meeting the person in real situation, is by internet.
Yeah,
It
you get the
also-
idea because you don't need the real person. You don't need
Yeah.
the real person, just the idea,
Yeah.
and feedback.
So I think this also changed me a lot. Like it also enlarge all your circumstance.
So it seems that you don't have one big time when it changed, and then you become more interested in improvement, self-development, becoming
say
more but
step by
many
step.
many steps.
Yes. Many steps.
In my case, I can point out around 2000, year 2000, I read an article on the internet. Somebody wrote a book and put the whole book on the internet. It was about emotional first aid. And I read it and it totally opened my mind that I never thought about that I can manage my emotions. I never thought about that topic. And that was, of course, I also had some small changes, but that was one big idea, reading a person's belief systems, that how can you change your emotion, what is emotion. Before that I never thought about this topic, and then I was interested, and then I was reading, and there were words, beliefs, beliefs, and I started to search what is belief, mental models, and then one by one I explored more and more areas, and the picture started to come together. But for me it was one big, not personal relationship, but the idea. Yeah, and it seems that for you it's more about, especially earlier it was personal relationship, and even after that it's not mainly an idea, but it's about chatting online, maybe with strangers, and they influenced your way of thinking.
Or like I would say is like I have a lot of interest, or like maybe one interest. So I gather a lot of information. I do a lot of research. So I found, okay, that is the person that I admire. So I will read all the information about what he put out for the topic that I feel interest, and then I will learn or like gather different things, and then I will ask questions.
I know that you like the marketing is Seth Gold.
Yeah, Seth Golden.
Golden.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you learn from him? One big.
So he got a book called Purple Cow. So that is, if you see a cow, all the cow is boring. And then when you see a purple cow, so you will get attracted by that purple cow. So it's like make a difference. And I actually think his philosophy, or like, his mindset are really, I would say, influence me, or like at the really first, or like come out really first in the market. Usually because everyone is trying to do FH stuff, or like to do normal stuff to make it safe, but he is like totally changed the idea about what's marketing like. It's like you need to do something different, and then make yourself remarkable, and then people can remember you. And at the same time, so he also remind me one thing is you need to prepare yourself before you launch yourself to the market. So it's you when you do things, it's not you need to prepare yourself really well, but it's you need to understand. Okay, there's a lot of people they are doing one things, but then you need to be remarkable. But at the same time, even you are not success in a really short time, you just let go and then do different things. So you need to keep yourself fail enough time, and then one day, maybe you hit the right moment and right target, then you will become, one remarkable person or a success business. So I
guess this idea influenced you that learn and improve yourself.
Yeah, and try different things.
Okay, so we talk about that a lot of people influenced you.
Yeah.
What about you? Have you ever influenced other people, that you put other people on the self-development path? Do you have any examples?
Yeah, I actually went to a meetup group last year about writing. So at that time I was still in uni and I need to submit my essay. It actually made me feel a bit headache. So I go to this writing group because I thought, okay, so if they are in writing group, they must have write good English, right? So maybe I can learn from them. So I went to this writing group and I met I think around 10-20 people, 10-12 people. So this one girl, she was around 16-17, and she told me that she graduated and then she's doing teaching, but she's just feel really really bad about herself, self-image, or don't have any confidence at all. But she really liked writing. That's why she go to that class. And I asked her some personal stuff, and then she shared with me about she always wants to write something, but she's really afraid. And I encourage her. I said, if you look at me, I can't even write good English or speak good English, but I still write a blog about aircon, and then it's also go to #1 page in Google. And I think if I can do that, and I'm sure that he can do that, and she is not going to want herself to become a good blogger or something. She just wants to write her story, or the story that she wants to put online, but she never stop. And I say it's so easy, and then I give her some information about how to open a blog page. And
so you did the same thing that other people do. So this person met you personally.
Yeah.
And you gave some knowledge and show it the techniques.
Yep.
Okay, what was the result?
And she, after 2 months, she launched it, and then she shared with the people in the group, so everyone know that now she has her personal blog to publish her story every week. So I think this is also really really good to know someone really do something that they want to do, and it's not hard for them to do it.
So when you start to help to other people, actually feedback, you also improve a lot of things. Teaching is a very good way to learn, especially when you have to explain something to people. You realize that you don't know how to explain, and you really have to go to the details.
Yeah.
I had this experience when I was tutoring mathematics. I was good at math. I could solve the problems, but when I started to tutor, I had to explain to people who were at very low level in mathematics, and it really had to change, and I had to go down to that level and explain basic things and bring the person up. So it's a very good way for self-development, that you start to mentor, tutor, coach, teach people that can also help you. Do you have any other example, like in the business, family business, or health, sports, any other that you influence people? Family members?
I would say the business is not that's the sex at the moment. So I mean, like, just doing something, have a lot of freedom, and
I'm
also.
talking about influencing people that you change. Because maybe this is the next stage. Okay, so when you look at your experiences with your self-development, so when you become more conscious about your process and what motivates you, meeting people face to face, maybe online nowadays, but basically this, getting more ideas.
Yeah.
So how can you accelerate this process that you learn much faster, not just randomly meeting people and being lucky to get some ideas, but that's at a meta level, at a higher abstract level of learning to learn, learning to how can I self-develop myself in a much more conscious way, other than just randomly meeting with people.
Yeah. I would say you need to really set the goal and also create a process and step to do that. There's like, for me is, I think the first, even if I want to learn something new, I need to understand myself first. Like, do I really want to learn that? And then, is there any advantage for me, or like what kind of like teaching methods suitable for me to learn this new thing? So I will gather the information first, and then choose the suitable one, and then like do it quick, or like do it in amount of time. And so I think first is to set the goal, and
Yeah,
then
this
choose,
is the next level,
choose.
because in this case you have a future idea.
Yeah,
You have the motivation that I want to achieve this.
yeah,
Because the previous one that you just met a person as a chance and then you learn, this is not about goal driven, it is just push. Somebody actually is pushed the idea or an opportunity to you, and then you were open-minded and curious to catch it. It's about catching opportunities and creating opportunities for yourself when you have some future idea, some business plan or health improvement plan or exercise, and then from that you look back. So do you do this, that you create what kind of life do you want, and then you look back, so what skills do I have to, how much money I have to save to achieve this. So you are doing this now.
yeah,
Now this is the next level. So
Yeah.
the question is, what is the next level after that? Because this is more effective, because you move towards a goal and then you build the skills, and even if the
Yeah.
goal, you don't reach the goal, it's not important.
Yeah.
It's very important to have a goal, but it's not important to reach the goal, because you have a goal, you are developing yourself. And if goal change, it's not important. That you already have a lot of skills to get closer to the next goal. So what is the next stage?
Maybe about coaching other people, like to give back. So what I think is, so maybe to share my experience with the younger generation, to let
Or
them,
maybe the older one, because they
Yeah.
can also learn.
yeah, to make their life easier, or like to do not make a lot of mistakes. Because I believe if you are doing the right way, or like the right curve to reach your goal, actually save a lot of time, and then you have more time to
I would not say
enjoy.
that the right way, it doesn't mean there is one right way. I would mean that
Definitely.
at least see one possibilities. Because your examples that, or my examples, that somebody show me a possibility, it doesn't mean that the right way, but it means that, oh, I didn't have any way, I didn't even thought about that, I didn't even think about the topic, but now somebody show me one way to, let's say, go to a university to another country, my brother show me, or travel, maybe you get the idea from other, maybe it's your idea, or run business, maybe from your brother.
Yeah.
Okay, it's showing one way, and it's you start somewhere, and then you will see new opportunities. Okay, is there anything else that you want to say? shall we finish?
Not much. Just keep your eyes open, and yeah.
And be brave, because I think in your
Be
case, it takes risks. You travel, you
Yeah.
go to new things. So it's curiosity.
Yeah, and open your mind.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Bye.